That'll do it! That will do it! Pew for Bournemouth! The roof of the Gold Sands is raised! Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football club.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Matchday Breakfast here on Back of the Net this Thursday morning. My name is Sam Davis.
And I'm Morgan Scott.
Morgan, how you doing, buddy? You all right?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Sam. Fresh as a daisy this morning. So, yeah, looking forward to hopefully another 3 points after the 1-0 win in the capital. And hopefully we can push on, get behind the boys again and steer them over the line. It's a long season, as we're aware. And hopefully we can come out again with 3 points to start, end the year on a positive. So, yeah, looking forward to today.
Absolutely. Credit to anyone that's joining us live right now, because in YouTube terms, on a weekday, 9:30 is the worst possible time to put a video out. However, we couldn't do it last night, so we've got our Matchday Breakfast again. Some of you are probably at work. Some of you might be watching back later. But if you're joining us live, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And if you do us a favour by getting this video in front of more eyes, if you check out our pinned tweet, if you can just quote tweet that saying, "Watch this video, it's amazing." I mean, it's not, but if you can do that, that'd be great. So, yeah, as Morgan said, it's 72 hours after our 1-0 away win at QPR. And Bournemouth are back in home action against 20th place Cardiff City. As Morgan said, it's the last game of 2021. So hopefully we can go out with a bang. We certainly hope so. Tonight against the Bluebirds, it could be 2 home Welsh wins in a row. Let's see who's on chat then and say good morning to AFCB Germany. Hello, buddy. Hope you're all right. Chris Hubble's here. Of course you are, Chris. Dedicated to the cause. Love it. Rob Wells is here. Ured Daniel from Florida's here as well. We'll be bringing him on a bit later on. Also, we got Dan Short, Newcastle fan. We won't talk about Eddie in this, mate. But you know what? If you're interested in all things AFCB, fair play to you, mate. Good morning to you, RWC. Also, Layla's here as well. I wish I looked as fresh as you guys this morning. Ben Phillips is here. Can't wait for today. Should be a solid win. Heather, we've got the vlogger here as well. We've got Lucy watching as well. Good morning, Lucy. We've got Kenny here as well. Good morning. Up the Cherries. Steve Hensman here too. Rich Neal as well. Who's in the 1910 later? Are you there? I don't know if I will be. We'll see. Do a thumbs up if you are. Let him know. Mark Cole's here as well. Martin as well, John Spark, and also Nick Sullivan watching in the gym. Absolute legend. Morgan, people are watching all over the place. It's great seeing it.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Just a quick thank you for everyone for supporting the channel this year. It's been it's grown. Sam put some stats off of how many minutes everyone's watched and all the likes and everything. It's been top draw this season and this year. And I'm sure there are bigger things coming 2022, eh, Sam? So it's been great to see you all. What's been really nice, I think, this time around after all the lockdowns is people actually being able to have a beer and socialise and actually put a face to a name rather than just talking over StreamYard, which is always fun as well, but it's great to meet in the flesh. So no, it's been a good year, so thank you for everyone, but it's great that everyone's watching at this time in the hour because it is quite early still.
It is. Right then, this show is brought to you by Sky Bet EFL Rewards app. Yeah, so really pleased to be supported by this, guys. And if you check the live chat, there's a link where you can download the app. And if you haven't done it already, I certainly recommend you do, because you can check in on match days, earn achievements, and be rewarded for just being a fan of the Cherries. And Morgan, I mean, you've been rewarded before, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a nice football manager car and last year, I think, and also a Matchday pass as well, which managed to get me in for when you had to pay the £10 subscription when we weren't going to games, when we were in the lockdown period, or they were behind the host, or I managed to watch the game for a few weeks without paying the £10 subscription. So I definitely recommend it, and download it, give it a go, because it's a great app and you don't have to do a lot for it.
Yeah, it really is. And during December, they've got a whole host of prizes where you can win the cost of a season ticket, Football Manager 22 codes, Puma EFL match balls, and a lot more. There are only 2 days of the month left, but there are still prizes to be won. Therefore, there's not actually a better time to use the app. And Morgan, do you mind if I ask you for some predictions now? Because there are some matches going on tonight, of course. I think tomorrow too. No, is it tomorrow? No, just today. So I'm going to ask you some questions about your various outcomes. We did this last night, mate. So here we go then. We're going to be doing it live. The back of the net right then. This is the EFL Predictor app here. And Stoke versus Derby, mate. What's it going to be?
I'm going to go.
Yeah?
I'm going to go for an away win.
All right, mate. Brilliant. Bristol City versus Queen's Park Rangers. How do you think this panning out?
I think that's a draw for me for that one.
You know what? I predicted that. Bournemouth v Cardiff, mate. Come on.
I'm going to go with the chest to win.
Thank you. Finally, then, Nottingham Forest against Huddersfield Town. What are you thinking?
I haven't seen much of them, so I'm going to go a draw there.
All right, I've entered your stats in, mate. So you are now entered. And look, if you're on the leaderboard, if you top the leaderboard, or if you are one of the top 5, then well done to you. There you go. That's the EFL Rewards app. Right then, Morgan, Bournemouth are topping the table at the moment, and it's looking pretty good, isn't it? But there's a certain Blackburn Rovers that are sneaking up behind us, 1 point behind. Tonight, it's imperative we win, right?
Imperative is a very good word. I think it's we have to make a statement again. I think we've been through this really, really poor run of form. I really want to get behind the boys again tonight. I think the support at home, if we can scale on a little bit, sometimes Tom and other people I mentioned, it gets a little bit flat at times. So if we can be behind the boys from the first whistle till the last whistle, and when Mike Botto said, thanks everyone for being there again tonight, for your fantastic support, have a happy new year and all that jazz. It would be really good if we can be sat there top of the table with another win. It's just got to happen. We want to go back to the Premier League. Fulham have got a match there, a game behind us, so it's imperative we win. So yeah, looking forward to it, but we do have to come out again and have a great performance, and even if it's only a 1-0, do you know what I mean? That was good enough the other day. We missed 2 golden opportunities from Solanke and Jadon Anthony. That was a sitter. It was easier to put in the net than hit the post, but you got to make a statement again tonight. It's another game, and then it's on to Monday. It's game by game. You just can't get too carried away just yet.
Yeah. So how can people get involved on the show today? Because it is their show. How do they do it, Morgan?
You just go to the little link down at the bottom of the screen. It's afcbpodcast.com/take part. Just make sure you're in a landscape like myself and Sam, and wear some headphones like I got here and Sam has as well. And then just wait, and Sam will press a little button, and like Marky Master, maybe like his time machine, might bring you into the studio, you know.
I might well do. Right, before we get on with the news from Parker's Presser, etc. Duncan Spoke says, good morning. Greetings from Scotland, chaps. Love that. Ivan here. It's 1:30 a.m. in San Diego. Oh, mate. Loving the dedication there. Also, we've got Heather as well, as we said. Oh, Steve's still in bed. I usually watch different stuff whilst in bed. All right, mate. Also, what else have we got here? We got Dawn as well. Good morning, guys. Been a great year with some brilliant vlogs from you all. Love your content and enthusiasm. Thanks for your hard work. Not a problem at all. Mr. Tiggs is here as well. Feeling a little bit under the weather, Tiggs. Hope you get well soon. Dave Hawkins, thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. G'day, says Paul Hodgkinson from Brisbane. Who else have we got? Sean Woodland as well is here. Hi, Sean. Hope you're doing well, mate. Another 3 points.
This is brilliant. We've got lots of people here.
For this time of day, mate, I'm very, very pleased, or as Jefferson Lerma would say, very happy. Right then, Morgan, was there a Parker Presser this time round?
Well, I had to have several looks on the website, but I'm afraid there was.
Okay, let's get into it then. Right then, Morgan, tell me all about what Scott Parker had to say then, because I'm sure he'll have been fairly upbeat with the win at Queen's Park Rangers. But yeah, injury-wise, what's going on? Really want to find out what on earth is happening to us.
So the boss has said everyone's got through fine. Junior Stanislas, or maybe don't want to seem disrespectful, but is it fair to call him quite injury prone? He came off after I thought he had a very good game. He's got a slight shoulder issue apparently, according to Scott Parker. So they're going to see he trained lightly yesterday morning. And they'll see how he again this morning. So it'll be touch and go, but hopefully that shouldn't be too serious. I'm sure he can put a bit of cream or I don't know, maybe put it back into plays, who knows. It was quite interesting again. The media conferences, just to explain, are being done on Zoom due to EFL COVID protocols with Omicron taking a massive rise. So that's why it's done through Zoom, as you can see, and a massive he is our captain these days. I know he's not the main captain, been officially by the club, but Lloyd Kelly is back after serving 10 days in COVID isolation with government guidelines. So that's great to see Lloyd back. I think Lloyd's been very good this season. So, when you've got a different partner, we saw last season with Steve Cook and Cameron Carter-Vicker, when that gets disturbed, it mucks things up at the back. So it's really good. But apart from that, I think we're back in good health ahead of today's game.
Brilliant. Daniel from Florida is here, so we're going to bring him in now. Good morning, Daniel. It's 4:40 a.m. where you are. Fair play to you for coming on. Love the fact you got the memo and we're wearing the same shirt. Excellent job. How are you today?
Good. You guys?
Very good, mate. Yeah, very, very good. Who's your favourite player for Bournemouth? Is it Jefferson Lerma by any chance?
Don't really have one. I like all of them really equally.
Well, you've met obviously Jefferson Lerma by doing FaceTime calls and WhatsApp, and Morgan's also done it in the flesh as well. We haven't heard about that 10 million times, have we? But how good was he in the last game, Daniel, against Queen's Park Rangers? He was a rock, wasn't he?
He was amazing last game. We can tell we missed him because he comes in the squad straight away. We're looking good in the defense. The defense, it was good versus QPR, but Lerma just made it way better and made it like more controlled in the back. Compared to if he wasn't there, I feel like we would be struggling more. So I'm glad he came.
And Morgan, of course, you were in London at, I was about to say at the weekend. I've lost track what day it is. What was it, Monday? And obviously taking in the game, Morgan, it was a game that I was really pleased to see. I mean, I thought we felt our way into the game somewhat. I did think that despite the lack of chances that we created in the first half, okay, Dom Solanke's header aside, and also the goal, I thought that we were better than them. And then in the second half, I thought we were really, really good. And we created some golden chances, like Jadon Anthony, Dom Solanke should have probably scored, Ryan Christie. There were a number of, like really good efforts. It's that clinicality that sort of comes into play. But it's nice to see Scott Parker making like-for-like substitutions, isn't it? Whereby we're maintaining the pressure and the intensity, not, say, bringing on a Pearson after about 60 minutes to try to shut up shop. Really good tactic by him, I thought, to actually just go like for like.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tom alluded to it on the vlog or the 3-4 or a bit of both. That and the subs were bang on, and I thought they were great. I think the fact that he dropped Jadon made a bit of a statement. Jadon had a few poor games. I thought that was good that he obviously reacted. I think sometimes if you're not playing well, then you do need to rocket up the backside and maybe be dropped to the bench or even left out the squad. I know it sounds harsh, but that's how you learn and how you progress as a footballer and be professional. But no, as you said, Sam, it's a professional performance. I didn't think at any time that we were going to concede. I think Travis made a couple of saves. I think he made that one late on, and you alluded to the one with Jefferson Lerma when he made that sensational block. And I just think it's I don't know about you, Sam, but I don't think there was any point in the game that we were looking at ropey at all, and I thought we were quite professional. And to be honest with you, to come out of there with 1-0, a lot of people thought there were going to be a lot of goals. I definitely did.
It's difficult when you're playing a team that hasn't played in so long. December the 5th was their last game. True. So you're either going to have one of two sides that are going to come out, one that's maybe a little bit rusty, or they were, they weren't really up for it as much as I thought they would be, actually. In many ways, I was actually sort of quite disappointed with them. But we'll see how they do tonight in their game. They're playing at the same time as us. Daniel, Cardiff tonight, they're not in a great league position, I've got to say, 20th, but their fans, because of the weird rules in terms of, coronavirus and stuff, their fans aren't allowed to watch them at home in Wales, but they will be able to watch them play Bournemouth. So they're going to bring a lot of fans and they're going to be very loud. And we know what the Cardiff fans are like. How do you see it panning out tonight at Dean Court?
It's a difficult one because you said how the fans, because their fans probably haven't seen Cardiff play since a while now, so they're gonna really want to back Cardiff. But I feel like we could go on a run only if we keep our momentum up, and I feel like if we see what we saw on Monday, I think we can do something. But it depends if our fans turn up, because when I'm watching on the computer, you can hear our fans, but it looks like you can always hear in the home games the away fans more, and you really want to hear the home fans more.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your prediction then for tonight, mate?
2-0 Bournemouth.
That's what I like to hear. Daniel, thanks so much for coming on. Are you going to stay up now or are you going back to bed?
No, I will finish the show.
Oh, of course you
Bye.
will. Bye. Back of the net, loyal Daniel there. Right, superb. Mate, I was also pleased to see the return of Junior Stanislas. And like you say, he's got his doubters, shall we say, who create their own hashtags for him and stuff. But you know what? I've been really impressed, even though he had 60 minutes. For the bulk of it, he probably didn't do much. But as Steve Hensman, I think, said, he's a difference maker. And he was a difference maker because he put through a number of great passes. He was the one that slid that lovely little ball through to Philip Billing, who just lifted it up onto Dom Solanke's head in the first half. Dom really should have done better. He stung the keeper's palms with a free kick. World-class delivery for Solanke's header. Solanke didn't have to do much with it. He then put Jordan Zamora through in the second half with a lovely little ball. Plus, we know that he's got figures in terms of assists and also hitting the back of the net as well. So it's great to see him back. Do you think he could be starting tonight, or do you think Jayden Anthony might see his way back in? What do you think?
It's difficult to say. It depends how his shoulder is. Obviously, he's a different player to Jayden. I think Junior came. We were saying though, weren't we, at Middlesbrough as well? The Junior came off the bench and he had that free kick, and that was the best thing we did all half. So it's amazing, given one opportunity, how a player can deliver. I think Junior's going to be a massive player for our squad this season. Like, I'm not going to say we're going to get loads and loads of 90 minutes out of him because of how often he gets injured. But if we can just bring him off sometime at like 20, 30 minutes to go and nick a goal, set up a golden opportunity to Solanke's head and hopefully a header into the roof of the net or whatever, then it's a great option to have. So, no, really impressed to have Junior back. And it doesn't look like he's been out for that one. He's always so good when he comes back. I don't get why, but it's amazing to see. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing him progress.
Look, I know we're only a small channel, but I'm really pleased with the numbers we're getting at this ghastly time of the morning. So people watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, thank you so much. You can really help us out by giving this video a share on the socials, free to do, but also hit the like button as well. Let's go for 100 likes on this video. It's probably impossible, but you know what? Together, anything is possible. Right, should we find out about the opposition, Morgan?
Shall we?
So when we last played Cardiff, the manager for the opposition was Mick McCarthy. After our win there, that was actually the second game of 8 defeats in a row for Mick McCarthy's side. So his style of football proved quite successful at first, but then it unravelled very quickly and he basically got found out. And after their 2-0 home defeats, their 8th loss in a row to Middlesbrough, which was the worst run in the club's history, he then left the Bluebirds and was replaced from within the club by Steve Morrison, who had been in charge of the under-23s. Now, that day at Cardiff was very, very good. That was the second of their 8 defeats in a row. Philip Billing scored the goal, and Tom Jordan, of course, was in the concourse.
Flying up in the sky. We'll keep the red flag flying on. G-Court to Wembley. We'll keep the red flag flying on. We've got Snooper Scotty Parker. He knows exactly what we need. Get it at the back, so don't get in attack. We'll go to the Premier League.
First half analysis, what do you make of that?
Reminiscent of Tyndall, I think. It wasn't great.
It wasn't, was it? We didn't really create much. Jefferson a chance. Other than that, I'm struggling.
It was too slow around the box, you know. It wasn't good enough, you know. We were getting into good positions, slowing it down, and it wasn't great, but we still got second half, so we'll see what happens.
Tom, second half's just kicked off. We're down in the concourse still. Let's hope we don't miss a goal, but we won't, because there we go. It's on the screen. Drab, really.
Very similar to Hull, innit?
Yeah.
I feel like we're the better side, and they're quite organised. I feel like we've got to cope with that. Like, most teams are going to take a draw against us.
Yeah.
And results going our way. Fulham are losing, West Brom are losing.
They're still smarting after their 0-0 at Hull. Sorry, the 1-0 loss at Coventry, aren't they?
Okay.
Is that a goal?
I don't know, I'm scared.
Celebrate goal! Oh my god! It should have been with the crowd. It should have been with the fans. But... Come on! Fucking come on! We are going up, so we are going up. We are going up, so we are going up. We are going up.
Yeah, so Tom Jordan was in the concourse, and so was I. And you know what? It was a late one as well. Like, I don't know why it took ages to get served, and we got a beer, and it was 56 minutes. And now that we're in the second half of the season, and we've been to every match, we've played every team we've played. We're going to now recycle them, so we'll be able to show you our vlog footage, little highlights, reels on all of our future shows. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, make sure you do. Cardiff, mate, great win, eh?
I was just about to say that. Do you know? Thanks for showing them as well, because that vlog was probably up there with one of the best this season. Maybe you have to do a tier list for vlogs. Who knows? But no, I just thought to be honest with you, when I was sat, I unfortunately didn't travel to Cardiff, but I did watch it on the AFCB TV or Sky or whatever it was on, I can't remember. But it was a really, really, really professional performance. We were Cardiff. Most players are like my height, 6'4", 6'3", at least, and we were just we were winning the second ball. Lerma, who's not even as big as me, like, he was jumping all over the place, winning the ball. It was fantastic, and that's all. What they need to do is we played this team before, so they just need to remember what they did well back in, what was it, September time, August time, and just try and remember what they did, the basics right. They were so good that day, and it was so professional. So hopefully we can be at it again tonight, because they know what they're about, and hopefully we'll find another way to get them 3 points off them. 6 points from 2.
Correct me if I'm wrong, people on chat. I think that's probably the only goal we've scored this season from outside the box. I don't know. I think that's the case as well. But you know what? Recent games, I'm just trying to think back. I don't think so. Let me know if I'm wrong. I probably am. I'm not.
Also, that celebration from Tom Jordan running around the concourse, I haven't seen that, so that is brilliant. Massive shout out to Tom, because I know Tom just enjoys himself, whatever the moment is. It was but them scenes after as well, Sam. That 3-4 must have been manic, but it must have been so enjoyable, and it makes a difference. Like, you don't want the vlogs to always be exactly the same. I know we spoke about it. You want them to be different. So I'm sure it was, well, maybe not being jumped on, but did you enjoy the scenes after?
Yeah, I did, mate. I thought it was very good, and you're right about the vlogs. Actually, trying to create, you know what, home games I find a challenge, and I've said this on the Telegram group. If you want to become a member of Back in the Net, by the way, you can. Details at the end of the show, and we put you on a private chat group with all our sort of donators, and that's one of the things I've said. Like, for home games, there's only so much you can do. Like, you know, different pubs to go to, or, you know, different That's why we did the Alpine bar thing with Tiggs and Tom the other week. So it was like slightly different, and so we're trying to think of new ideas. So if you've got any new ideas, do feel free to let us know. But let's go back to Cardiff then and talk about them and their manager, Steve Morrison. And he immediately changed the Bluebirds style of play when he took over from Mick McCarthy, and he stopped the rot with a 3-3 draw away at Stoke. And then in his first home game, his side lost 1-0 to Queen's Park Rangers, who of course were our last opponents. In his next 2 games, his side won at home against Huddersfield and then won by the same scoreline away at Preston as well. They've been a little topsy-turvy, but their most recent game was a 2-2 draw away against Birmingham City. Birmingham City were 2-0 up in the first half there, and Cardiff scored relatively late. And then I think just as the fourth official was putting 5 minutes up on the board, Cardiff then made it 2-2. So there were limbs in the away end, just like there were when we went to St Andrews earlier in the stadium. But their last game, scheduled game on Boxing Day, was called off due to COVID as well. And look, their fans are going to be absolutely raucous tonight. As I said to Daniel, they can't even watch their team at home at the moment, Morgan.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I to be honest with you, I didn't even think of that. So that's really that's put a different perspective on the game now, because obviously they're not going to be able to go to. Well, they might be able to go to a few, but I'm not sure how many games they'll be allowed to go to. Probably, is it just Wales so far, ain't it?
Yeah, so any match in Wales, so home fans.
Oh, so they can go to as many away games as they want until obviously whatever happens here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So that I'm sure they're bring 1,300 with them or whatever they're allowed. They're packing out.
Yeah, I think so.
So it'd be interesting to see how noisy they are. And I think Daniel makes a good point. I think whatever, as away fans, you got the travel. Sometimes you stay over. You're more hyped up. I think wherever you go, away fans are going to be louder than. Well, it shouldn't be that way, but it works out that you can hear away fans wherever you go, because obviously you're trying to make a statement, you're trying to intimidate the other team in terms of making yourself heard. So, yeah.
Yeah, so the Cardiff manager said that the supporters, the Bluebird supporters, travel well in their numbers, and he's happy that they still have the ability to do that with the away fixtures. I'm sure it's going to put a smile on everyone's face when the team walks out on Thursday evening to see the fans standing there supporting us. Hopefully, we can put on a performance to match their support. Now, a lot of attention, Bournemouth fans would absolutely love this guy if we were to sign a striker, and that is key for more as well. And, it's fair to say that he's the one to watch for Cardiff. The big striker is always a handful and is their leading goal scorer with 5 goals. Also got 2 assists to his name as well. In midfield and leading with 9 assists is Ryan Giles, another one to watch. He's also joint top with assists in the Championship as well. Head to head, our record is pretty good. Home games against Cardiff City. Bournemouth have won 11, drawn 3, lost 4. In all competitions, we've just got the slight edge. Won 19, drawn 12, and then lost 15. But the last time we played Cardiff at Dean Court, Morgan, can you remember what happened?
Did we win?
No, we didn't. We lost. Cardiff City were 2-0 up at half time, and goals from Shaw Morrison and a Kiefer Moore penalty. And then Shane Long.
2013-14.
Yeah, no, that was last season.
Of course it was. Yeah. Well, we probably weren't allowed to go, were we, for that one? Maybe. Can't remember.
No. Shane Long then pulled one back.
Okay. Big Shane Long. We like Shane Long, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely love Shane Long. It was one of those goals that he bundled in, just like he did every single goal that he scored for Bournemouth. But yeah, so we've heard about Cardiff. We've heard about AFC Bournemouth. Lovely to get a neutral view. And for that view, it is excellent Championship YouTuber Ben HD.
Next up then to Bournemouth up against Cardiff. Brilliant win for Bournemouth the other night as they saw off QPR by 1-0. Probably what's most pleasing from a Bournemouth point of view will be the clean sheet in that one. I think it was 6 games they'd gone prior to that game against QPR without keeping the ball out, and good resolute defensive performance whilst also creating chances going forward. They probably should have had more than that 1 goal. They eventually went on to score in that game. There was the feeling that some of those missed chances would have come back to haunt them. Dom Solanke missed a great chance before he obviously took the lead as he had a header just go over the bar, but really well taken goal by Solanke, and defended really quite well actually against a QPR side who do pose threats. I thought that everyone had a good game. Everyone in that back four looked quite stable. Jefferson Lerma shielded that back four really well. His presence in midfield could definitely be felt for that one. And so maybe this is where we see Bournemouth sort of clicking back up into gear, and we now see them go on a little bit of a run, because things before that had got a little bit sort of patchy in terms of their sort of patterns of play and how that was sort of lost for a little bit of time. But Parker seemed to get things back on track with that game against QPR. Obviously, there was a bit of a coming together with everyone at the end with that eventual red card for Andre Dazelle. But other than that, really good performance from Bournemouth. And they're going up against a Cardiff side who haven't been in action for the last couple of weeks now. Once again, 11th of December, last time Cardiff were in action in the Championship. So hard to gauge really when it's been that long of a break where a team will actually be at this point in time. For Cardiff under Morrison, things have been a little bit up and down. Obviously, they've made a bit of a name for themselves so far this season of being sort of second half masters. They're definitely a team who grows into games. So if Bournemouth can start this one strong, they may just have enough for Cardiff in this one. I'm going to go 2-0 Bournemouth as my prediction. Just feel that maybe a run could be coming on here for Bournemouth now.
Great stuff. Nice to get the opinion from Ben HD there. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Check out the chat, the live chat. Subscribe to him there. Knows what he's talking about. And also scroll down in the description as well, because we've got the link there as well. Morgan, in other news, what's been going on, mate?
So anyone that was up at the game or watching on Sky or whatever, AFC Bournemouth and Queen's Park Rangers have been charged with breach of FA Rule E20.1 following their EFL Championship game on Monday, the 27th of December. It's the players both conducted themselves in an orderly fashion and refrained from protocol behaviour during the 95th minute of the fixture. Both have clubs have until the 4th of January to provide reputable responses. There was, to be honest with you, it looked like half a dozen of the other, but I don't know what, like, that guy who picked up Solanke, what was all that about? It was, I think it took quite a while for the ref and the fourth official and whatever to sort out, but it was not nice to see someone sent off at that minute of the game, but as a fan, obviously, it hypes up the crowd and whatever.
Mate, well, we're Keith Stroud FC, aren't we? So it's fine. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, 12 in a row.
12 wins in a row. And
maybe Lerma might... I don't know if you saw the video on Twitter, just to quickly mention. I don't know why, and maybe it's due to COVID protocols or whatever, but Mark Travers put his shirt in the crowd, and Jefferson Lerma ran over to try and give his shirt to someone, and I think the Bournemouth security tried to stop him. And then he took the shirt off Lerma, so Lerma gave it to him, and then nicked it back off him and chucked it and gave it to whoever he wanted anyway. I don't know if it's, I know sometimes not being horrible, but Lerma's got to be careful because when he comes back from international duty and whatever. But he hasn't been away in probably 2-3 months, since the last international break. So I don't really get what that was about. Maybe being out in the community a bit extra, maybe there were different rules. I'm not quite sure. We don't know the ins and outs. But it was quite funny to watch on Twitter, I've got to admit.
I loved Ben Pearson getting involved in some of the scuffles as well. And, Jefferson Lerma, everyone was shouting, Lerma, knock him out, Lerma, knock him out. And I mentioned this on the vlog as well, the Queen's Park Rangers fans, very well behaved because they were in their kind of main stand. They were like throwing stuff on the pitch, but they were like napkins and serviettes, so they weren't going anywhere. So they were like, it was just like, just like in the wind, just billowing away, just like trying to hit someone around the head with a balloon. It doesn't matter how hard you do it, but it was 6-1. And I thought at that stage, the referee, he could have just let it go. He could have let it go, but maybe he's got to,
I don't know why it went so much into it. I don't know why it went 9 minutes in. I know it's only a minimum of 5 minutes. One
of those things, yeah. Steve Hensman, tongue in cheek, says any team with Jeff Lerma in their ranks shall consistently be fined for pretty much just existing. Yeah, sometimes that's what we feel as well then. Right then, Morgan, shall we get on with everyone's predictions? I think we should.
Yeah, shall we?
Let's do it. So in terms of pubs, obviously it's a home game for AFC Bournemouth, but if you're a Cardiff fan watching this and you're wondering whereabouts to go, then if you're on the coaches, they'll probably direct you to Mellow Bar, which is in Boscombe. I mean, it's fine if you want to go there, but if you have a look on our channel, firstly subscribe because you're lovely people, but then search for the Away Fans Guide, and on that we've got a guide of exactly how you can get places, where you can go, where you can drink, better places than what maybe your club and maybe even our club recommends as well. So make sure you check that out. In the meantime, everyone needs to get their predictions in. We'll give you 30 seconds to do so, and Morgan's going to go through and read them out very, very shortly. In the meantime, Morgan, shall we maybe do our predictions?
Yeah, shall we? Sam, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, I'll kick off. Look, I think that we are such a confident side. We truly are, and I honestly believe that there were little passages of play in that QPR game where everyone was showing a bit more aggression and a bit more fight. Roll back to Borough, and the way we conceded the penalty, Jade Nancy was on the left wing, and he got tackled, he got intercepted, and he just needed to show a little bit more grit. And I think across the team we did that, especially in the second half. Lewis Cook was moving forward with the ball. It was very direct at times. Really liked it. Stacey was better with his overlapping runs. Zamora looked a bit more fit as well. And I think if we are a confident side, which I think we are, based on the fact that we went on our awful run, I think we're probably going to get a win tonight. And look, I don't think it's going to be clean cut. It's a 2-1 or a 2-0, Morgan. 2-0. But that's what it's going to be. You heard it here first. 2-0.
Love it.
What are you going for?
A bit like you, I can't see how it's going to plan out. Just something I very forgot at the beginning of the show. Jordan Zamora, it's been reported that he will be allowed to be involved for Monday's game against Peterborough at 7:45 at the Vitality Stadium, and then he will miss 3 or 4 games, including that trip to Yeovil in the FA Cup, before he heads off to the African Cup of Nations with Zimbabwe. In terms of my prediction, I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for Dom Solanke because he's in fantastic form, and I'm going to go for Jeff Lerma because he's been in the headline. I'm going to see if he can get a nice 30-yard strike to shut everyone else up. So yeah, Jeff Lerma, Solanke, 2-1 up the chest.
Goal scoring genius, Jefferson Lerma. Right then, mate. Let's go through these predictions then.
Shall we?
Let's go. Come on then.
2-1 to AFC Bournemouth. Chris. Who else have we got here? Dan's here with a 3-1 to the chest. 17-0. Oh, I think if that happened, I might fall off the chair. 3-1 home win, says Heather. 2-0 says Robin to the Cherry. Mark's here with a 2-0. AFCB Germany 2-1 Solanke and Billin, love that. 2-0 says Daniel from America. 2-0 Mr. Hensman. Rob Fellows is here with 3-1 to the chest. Rich Neil 2-1 to Cherries. 3-0 says Dave. 2-0 says RWC. Cardiff easy enough to cut. 2-0 to the Cherries, I think that's it.
2-0, superb.
2-1 says John. Who else we got? 3-1 says Dawn.
Yeah.
So I'm reading off a phone, so it's not
We've
particularly always the best.
We've got one here from the very top of the club, mate.
Max Denham, 8-0 to the the minimum. Love that. 2-0 to AFC Bournemouth. I'm sure there are some more. Simon Case here, nice to see him. 4-1 to the Cherries. 3-1, that's Kenny. Spells is here. 4-0 to the Cherries. Always, I'll say 2-0. Whatever will work in my favour. Howard, 2-0 to the Cherry. 3-0 says David Whitehead. Liam's here, 2-0. And I think...
That's near.
Christy Hatcher.
Oh, he's got to score. We'll be saying this every week.
He has to score. I got better form than Christy. No, I'm only joking. Who else we got? Martin's here, 1-0 to the Cherries. Tixie, 1-0. Is he going to go to the game? You said he's a bit under the weather?
It's a late call, but I don't think so.
All right, well, Tiggs,
sadly,
Tiggs, I wish you a very happy and speedy recovery and have a good new year. 1-0 says Michael.
And that's it. I think
that's it.
And what that means, because Tiggs isn't going to be there, it means that I'm going to be doing the post-match fan cam, staring into space. I'm going to try to keep eye contact as well. Right. And if you want to come along and have a chat, we would love to hear from you after the game. You know where we are, outside the 1910 bar, just on the other side of the fence. Look for the ring light, and then you'll be very welcome to get involved. Morgan, shall we predict our team?
Go on, final one of 2021.
You know what? I'm too awake for this time of the morning. I'm too awake. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, we've
right
got
then.
like.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
I know. I don't know about you, but it feels a bit weird that we got to wait till like, I don't know, another 6-7 hours before we can go and watch the game. And like normally we get up, we do this, and then we head down to Vitality within the next couple of hours. But it's going to feel quite a long one today, ain't it?
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Stop press. Legend is spoken. Ethan Burney, 1-0 he's going for. Ethan, hope you're all right, buddy. And yeah, Tiggs failed a late fitness test. Hopefully there won't be any other late fitness test failures, hey, for the AFC Bournemouth. Simon K, he's just gone for the jugular. No changes. Time for another cuppa. Let's talk our way through the side. I think we'll maybe go through it. What we'll do is, I think we know the defence, all right? So that's all okay. We'll ask them for their midfield three, okay?
Yeah.
So who are your midfield three, ladies and gents? Firstly, Morgan, let's go through and talk about Mark Travers, because he's a player that wasn't really called into action that much. There was a header that sort of he managed to claim. It was straight at him, really. But other than that, I can't remember him doing too much. But that's the sign of a good keeper, isn't it? When you're relatively cold and you're being sort of called into action, and you're making good saves. I think he's been so good for us this season, and deservedly our number one.
Yeah, I think it is really important. I know you know like Edison or Allison or whatever, but it's like Edison the other day. Like it's a bit like that, for example. Like Travis hasn't had a lot to do lately, but when a good sign of a good keeper, as you alluded to, Sam, is when like you haven't got a lot to do, but then you can make a key save and hope for get the 3 points for your team. So yeah, Travis has been brilliant. He's definitely Nyland number one, and people doubting him at the beginning of the season, definitely not going anywhere. He's brilliant.
Okay, brilliant. So I'm just displaying the midfield options, but of course, I mean, look, we've got some disagreement. Some going for Lewis Cook, some going for Pearson here as well.
It's interesting.
It
You can
is.
look at this one or two ways. Player 8 is definitely Lerma, because he's just. I don't think you would, unless he been on international duty. Lerma definitely has to play, and then it's touch and go, and then I would say Billen as well, and then obviously you've got the tricky choice if it's Kilkenny, Lewis Cook, or aka Pearson, aka Allen. So it's a difficult one, but Lerma and Billen for me are definitely in there. I don't know if you agree with that, Sam.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm in agreement. I think there's a way, mate, where I can do a poll on YouTube, and I'm going to work it out very, very shortly. But let's put everyone else in, right? So we're going to do Stacey.
Much better game at QPR, as you alluded to. He's been much better. I thought he had a very good game, to be fair. I think there were a lot. Also, Chris Mepham, shout out to him. He's had a lot of criticism, but I thought Meps had a great game.
But what do we do for the other two, though? Lloyd Kelly just comes straight back into that position. I mean, Chris Mepham didn't do anything wrong, and playing on a side that he's a bit more familiar with, he does that for Wales. Would you be putting him alongside? Because I don't think he had a bad game at all.
It's tricky though. Like we don't know. Like yes, Lloyd might be fit, but obviously we don't know when you footballer, active. They go and walk. They go for a recovery walk. I know Lloyd's got a dog and whatever, and he's always out and about. And it's a difficult one. When you had it depends how bad he's had the COVID-19 and how it's affected him. Obviously, you wouldn't have trained. It makes you feel quite fatigued from what people have said and read online and stuff. So it's interesting. I can see him walking straight back in. I don't know though.
Look, what I've done, right, is, by the way, I've talked about the midfield. On YouTube, there's a poll in the live chat now. I've said Lerma, Billing, and Kilkenny, Lewis Cook, or Pearson. Let me know what you think with regards to that, because I'm really interested to see what people say. I think it probably will be Kelly and Cahill. I think it.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But that isn't. I think the fact that you got Meps who had such a good game, if Lloyd does look a bit shaky or can't continue for whatever reason, or only can play 60, 75 minutes, then Meps can come on and do a job. So there's always a good option.
Mate, what's this I've been seeing on AFCB about them not doing a full sort of training session since the last game? They've been sort of doing like walkthroughs and stuff. They haven't had like an intense like full day, have they, of training?
To be honest with you, that's news to me because I haven't actually had a look. I'm never prepared, am I? No, I think maybe it's just you normally get. Is it a day recovery? Like you normally get a day recovery when you get back and whatever. I know it's only a trip to London, so it's not too far compared to all the other ones. You know, Middlesbrough, for example. But maybe they just want to do some tactics and stuff. Maybe Parker saw a good enough performance and thought they didn't need to do any more training. They are only human beings. 72 hours after. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but that might be why. Who knows?
Steve Balsall's put a 3-0 prediction. Now, I put Lerma a bit more advanced, but we know that he really did shield the defensive player, so it could well be Lerma in that deep lying position. But we'll just decide the 3 at the moment. And look, I'm going to go onto YouTube and see what people are going to say. If you're on the live chat, I'll give you 30 more seconds to vote in our poll. Billing, Lerma, and who else will it be? Who do you go for, Morgan?
If it was me, just from what I saw the other day, I personally think Kilkenny's, or I don't know, it's a difficult one. I think Kilkenny's mature, but he's not as physical as Pearson. So I would put Pearson in there. But then Lewis Cook had quite a much better game the other day, in my opinion. So it's a difficult one. Oh, it's hard. Sometimes I don't like Lerma and Pearson on the same, because I just find it too defensive. So for me, I would go Lewis Cook or Kilkenny. I can't decide though.
Let's see. I'm going to end the poll now. 33 votes have come in. Right then. Ben Pearson got 18% of the vote. Kilkenny 27%. Lewis Cook 55% of the vote.
Lewis Cook.
So there we go. It is Lewis Cook. So
I agree. I agree with that, to be honest with you. I think that's actually, I don't think you can, I didn't want to drop Kilkenny after the last game against, what was it before that, Middlesbrough or whatever? Yeah. Or I can't remember now. But yeah, Middlesbrough. But Lewis Cook, I thought he was so much better. And I think that's the best that we've seen him since he returned at Derby earlier in the season. So yeah, no, I do agree with that. And then into the win position, I assume 10 will be Christie. I know he needs to go, and some people say he needs to work a bit harder. I'm sure that will come eventually. Who knows? Then it's a toss-up between Junior, maybe Jamalo, or Junior, or Jaden Anthony, or what do you reckon, Sam? You can pick this one.
Shall I do another pot now? I can't be bothered to
No.
do another. Junior, mate.
Junior?
I think we'll put,
all right, we'll go Junior there.
Yeah, we'll put Junior in there, but I'll be interested to see what people say on chat as well. So let's put in Stanislas. He's got that sprinkling of quality every so often. And then
are we putting Tom Jordan up front?
Yeah, we can put him up there, mate. No, Dom Solanke, there we go. So there's our team then. Do you agree with that? Let us know if you're watching this on the repeat. Put it in the comments below because we'd really love to hear from you with what you think. That's our team for tonight. Travers across the back, Zamora, Kelly, Cahill, Stacey, Jeff Lerma, Phil, Bill, Lewis Cook, Junior, Christie, and Dom Solanke as well. A lot of people are saying I'm Stan in. Also, what we got Junior as well. Stan, Christie will score today. Bloody hope so. Stan, he came back and hit the ground running. Yeah, he certainly did. So there is the teams. Morgan, this game you're going to be there in the flesh, but people who aren't, they can watch it on AFCB TV, can't they?
Yeah, I would recommend watching it on AFCB TV because if you go to the fridge and get a cola or a cup of tea or whatever at halftime, you don't get the replay on Sky of it on the red button. So I definitely would recommend watching it with Chris Temple and Willow because it's a nice thing to do. And I think it starts about an hour before the kickoff. So yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah, it is. All the angles and as you say, replays, which is helpful. It is on the red button if you want to watch it for free as well. 1910 Club Bar, that's where it is. That's where we might be before the game. Definitely will be afterwards as I upload the free for all. But also outside the 1910 at full time. Come and have a chat to me because I'd really like to see what you think. Some raw opinions of the game. Finally, we need to just talk about certain David Brooks. And Cherries fan Sammy Nell, Simon Kay, and a number of others have been putting together a hardback photo book, which will go to David Brooks, full of images of him, selfies with fans, but more importantly, handwritten messages, which are adorning each and every page in this book. But we need some more fan messages. It's going to be delivered to him very, very soon. Herself, Sammy, and Steve Hensman are going to be in the 1910 bar. You can see Steve on chat. If you need to liaise whereabouts you need to go, just pop him a message. But if you want to go up and write a message in it to David Brooks, that would be superb. If you're an exile and you can't make it to the game today, please write your message like about a Twitter length. It don't have to be like a huge essay telling him how much you love him, just like tweet sized. And what you can do is DM it to us at AFCB Podcast on Twitter, or if you're on Telegram at AFCB Podcast, or my personal Twitter, Sam Davis UK, and someone will write it in the book on your behalf, so you can pass on your best wishes to Brooksy. COVID protocols, mate. You know, face masks, all that jazz, but no need for a pass, right, for tonight's game, because the attendance is going to be under 10,000.
Yeah, 100%. That's how they're Bournemouth are trying. That's how what the club have done. I don't. It makes it a little bit confusing, like when you go away and stuff. But I think it's pretty easy. And yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I went to the cup game in the under 21s or under 23s a few weeks ago, and they were saying you had to wear a mask, but I was sat in the posh bit, so maybe that was why. And then you got to come down there, and then you didn't have to have it on, because I asked someone. I didn't want to just sit there and look like I was being stupid and not agreeing to the rule. And it's like, no, of course you don't have to. You're in the open air, so I don't really know. I guess when you go through security, it might be a bit respectful and common sense why they're searching you, where you're in close contact with people, and then when you get into the outside bit, obviously you're not. I don't know. It's all half a dozen, and none of it really makes any sense anymore. But it's what it is. But no COVID passports.
Yeah, that's right. And I've been told that if you can't go due to having COVID or whatever, and there are no returns going to be available, basically, because it's a bit weird. I was always wondering, this game was sold out before the restrictions were announced, so surely that's over 10,000 tickets. But what they're doing, any returns, they're just not putting them back on for sale. So it will eke under 10,000 to fulfill those requirements. Right. Finally, we showed you it earlier, but make sure you download this. It's really good. And Bournemouth home win is what I'm going for. Morgan, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very, very much. Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah, happy New Year to everyone. Of course, Happy New Year. We'll also say that on our vlog and the free for all as well. Looking forward to seeing you tonight. Up the Cherries.
Up the Cherries.